This is Maria again for microbiology experiment on environmental influences on microbial growth using salt tolerance testing and pH testing. For our experiment, of course, we do need to prep our table. We need to wipe it with the Clorox. I use Clorox wipes, and then I put paper towel over my table to lessen contamination. And then the experiment asked us to use apron and facial mask. I don't usually use the apron and facial mask because I know when I read the instructions there's no splashing involved, so I will not use this. But of course I always use the gloves, which is a personal protective equipment that is necessary, so you can protect yourself. And then I have my two broth, the S. epidermidis and cerevisiae, can never pronounce that. We do have our candle and our lighter that will disinfect the tubes. I have my pipette to pipette the nutrient the organisms culture to my nutrient broth. I have an alcohol solution so I can disinfect the pipette before using, and I have another cup that will we use to put on my used pipettes. I have the marker to mark our test tubes, the nutrient broth. This particular experiment has the particular nutrient broth that has 1% NaCl, 7% NaCl, and 15% sodium chloride. And I believe that is the salt tolerance testing broth or tube that we'll be using. And then we have the another set of nutrient broth that we will use for our pH testing. We have our HCl and hydrochloric acid, and then we have our sodium hydroxide, which I believe I researched is alive, and it's an alkaline solution, while the hydrochloric acid will make the broth more acidic, while the sodium hydroxide will make the solution alkalinic. So like 9%, because they ask us to do one set of 1% for the S. epidermidis and the S. cerevisiae, and then 5%, and then 9%. So we use the hydrochloric acid to make the 5%, and sodium hydrochloride, sodium hydroxide for the 9%, the alkaline pH testing. And just like any of our experiments, we do need incubation periods after we instill the culture in the nutrient broths. One thing we need to remember is to sterilize all the tubes using our candle before we try to pipette our cultures in the broth to avoid cross-contamination and introducing other microorganisms in our experiment. So that's how we're gonna do this experiment, and I'll go to it now. Thank you. Bye bye.